Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Baby Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Monday night. I'm doing okay. Oh, I got this new light. Excuse me, I'm trying to raise it to where it won't be so bad. I'm tired of wearing a neck light when I deal with dark colored yarns. So I went to Walmart yesterday and bought me a lamp, a new lamp. It has two lamps. It has a lower lamp and a tall lamp. It was cheap. It was $15. But then I got the daylight light bulbs. The lady at the checkout said, she said, "Oh, the daylight light bulbs." I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's that time." I said, "My eyes don't work like they used to." She said, "Girl, you ain't telling me nothing." I said, "Yeah." So that 50 mark, I said, "My eyes just, they do what they want to do." I said, "I need more light." She said, "Yeah." And she says, "I got you by 20 years. I said, "Oh, okay." Here comes the speech about, "Oh, you're just a baby. Blah, blah, blah." Yeah. But that's okay. So I've been just trying to make it. My pain's been a bit better. I think maybe because I upped my water intake. I've been drinking more water, so maybe I just wasn't drinking enough water. I don't know. But, and true to form, I squirreled. And I started another project. The other day I was in a pain pill fuzz. Some of y'all might be able to relate to that. I was laying in the bed because I had been in so much pain that I took because my regular doctor had prescribed me some new pain medicine, and it said take 2 every so many hours, and as needed for pain. And I was like, okay. And so I was in a bad way. So I took 2, and then I directly went and lay down. And unfortunately, I also suffer from, if you're new to the channel, I also suffer from some mental things, such as bipolar disorder, PTSD, anxiety disorder, things that don't allow my brain to always shut off when I lay down. So I'm laying there, my body's completely relaxed. I'm not entirely pain-free, because how pain-free can you be with 2 kidney stones in each kidney and stents in each kidney? So I couldn't completely get the pain to completely go away, but it went down to a dull roar, And so I'm laying there, and then I'm fuzzy, as pain medicine will make you fuzzy. And so I'm in this little fuzzy, and then my brain I felt like I had ADD brain, because it was bouncing from one idea to the next. Boom, ping, 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 ping. Gee, thanks. It wouldn't just, calm down. And so the one thing it kept telling me was that I needed to get my round loom over here. This big round, it's called a Cindwood loom. Okay, it's 60 inches around and 120 pegs. Okay. All right. It said, you need to try to make that basket weave blanket that Shannon over at Another Yarn is making. I was like, that's not a bad idea. That's not the worst idea I've heard. And it just kept on nagging at me. And I said, well. So when the fog lifted, and I later got up a few hours later, and I was like, well, and I looked at my loom, and I was like, well, because the way that Shannon is doing her blanket that she's got over there, she's making this basket weave. She's needle knitting hers, okay, and she's got a whole bunch of stitches on cables, and she's like, she'll purl, like, I think she's doing 10 stitches, blocks of 10 stitches. I watched a video she did today. Excuse me. You would think I was drinking carbonated something, but no, it's just water. But she's doing blocks of 10 stitches like 10 stitches of regular knit stitches and then 10 stitches of purl, and, you know, and then she's, you know, going back and forth with that and in blocks of 10 stitches and making her basket weave pattern. And I like it. I like how hers looked. And I was like, surely I can make this happen on this loom. Surely. Well, I did something on my loom yesterday that I thought was going to work out. But after doing like, I want to say 16 rows, and then I got to looking at it and it was crooked. It was so crooked. And I was like, I don't like crooked things. I really don't. I don't like crooked things, because if they start off crooked in the first so many rows, you're not going to get it straight later. It's not going to turn out straight later. No. So I took it off the loom and I abandoned the basket weave pattern. We're going to leave that in Shannon's arena over there, because I was inspired by what she was doing. I wasn't trying to copy Shannon. I was just inspired by what she was doing because I liked how her blanket looks. But no, I might attempt something different in crochet at a later time when I'm healthy and not, you know, feeling half dead from kidney stones and kidney stents and impending kidney stone removal surgery. When I'm not, and when I don't have all that on my brain and going on with my body, maybe I could pull something like that off. But what I have done before with this loom is a stitch called Owl Eye. And I have done a blanket, a lap blanket on this loom before using that stitch. And it's, you know, Hoot Owl, AOOWLI, EYE. I stitch. Okay, you can search it. There is a now I put a tutorial on my channel for this stitch using a loom many moons ago, you know, probably a year or so ago, a couple of years ago, because I've had my channel almost 3 years. And so probably the first year that I had my channel, I did a small tutorial about it. There's a lady that actually invented the stitch named Deborah something. I want to say Deborah Shaw or something like that. Now, her tutorial is a bit on the rough side. She's got some sound issues. But I was able to still learn it from her tutorial. I think her name's Deborah Shaw. But I'm not, don't quote me on that because I'm not entirely sure. But it's, I used the same stitch on one of my first blankets that I made that I dubbed Franken Blanket. And there's a video somewhere in my vlog, my daily vlog playlist that says Introducing Franken Blanket. If you want to go back and find that and look for that, you can do that. But I made this big patchwork blanket. It's a combination of loom knitted panels and crocheted add-on, and I thought it was atrocious. There why I named it Franken Blanket, okay? Because I thought it was ugly. But a bunch of y'all thought it was beautiful. And I have, of course, kept it because it's kind of a ode to my journey through from loom knitting only to crocheting when I finally learned how to crochet about 3 years ago. So, you know, it was kind of my transition project, you know, from one thing to another. And so it's you know, it's near and dear to my heart, but I didn't think it was that pretty. I didn't think it was pretty at all, but a lot of people thought it was. So Franken Blanket is a thing. So because I just Frankensteined it, single crocheted a bunch of panels together, and then I kept looking at it going, that's not squared off. That's not even. So I would add some here and add some there. And to this day, it's not symmetrical at all. I like symmetrical things. I like it to be even and straight. But freaking blanket is not. So there you have it. So, but anyway, this loom is called a Cindwood loom. Starts with a C, Cindwood loom. And I'll try to link the website in the description box, because I did look recently, and they're still making these. So now I paid about almost $80 for this loom 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. And it actually has the stamp still on here. Yep, it still has the stamp right there on it. But it's handmade. And it's really, it looks heavy, but it's not. It's whatever wood they used makes it very lightweight, because the project gets heavy as you go. But these pegs can hold it. I've done a little lap blanket on here before. A couple of years ago. And I used a Karen anniversary cake and made a lap blanket using the same stitch. And it turned out very nice. So let me see if I can show y'all what that's looking like. Hold on. I might have to turn that off. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, you can see that a little bit there. Now I am using Premier Basics Chunky yarn. Now this color, I believe, is the antique white. Antique white is this color. This is what I'm gonna, yeah. I had a bunch of this that was gifted to me from my buddy Cheryl. But this is, it pretty much, it looks a little bit different on the back. This is what it looks like on the back. And then that's the front side. So, but it's very pretty. And it's a solid stitch too. It's very solid. Gives you a solid piece of material, you know. This may be something I refer back to later on when I decide to try to make a sweater on this thing. But it definitely gives you a solid panel. Now, in order to do, because here is where you have your beginning peg. I know I've showed y'all how to make hats on the loom before, but this is your beginning peg. Of course, you see this is a different color than the others. Instead of continuing your stitch around, you just go, when you get to the last peg, you just turn around and go back the other way. Instead of continuing on in the round, you just turn around and go back the other way. So that's what we're doing here. So, and you notice that these are fairly straight. These edges are fairly straight. So I'm about to change color. That's why this is hanging like this. But I'm about to change color. But I'll show you the other colors that we're going to be putting in here. This next color is going to be Mist, which is like a really light gray. And then the next color is going to be Birch, which is a little bit of a darker gray. And then the last color is called Taupe. So all neutrals. So I'll show y'all these so that y'all have something to look forward to, because Serena, my buddy from Canada, has, she says, you know what you ought to do with that thing, don't you? And I was like, what? She said, that ought to be part of your 3K giveaway. I said, you mean I'm going to do all this work on this loom to make this little lap blanket and I'm just going to put it in a giveaway? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, that's a good idea. That's an excellent idea. So you heard it here first, that this here neutral colored lap blanket, loom knitted lap blanket, will be part of my 3K giveaway. There'll be other stuff in the giveaway when I, you know, but when I get closer, because I'm I'm pushing 2,700 right now, thanks to Juan and his video from today. Thank you so much, Juan. He opened his mystery bags that he got from me today, and just raved and raved about the bags. And so I got not only some more mystery bag sales out of that, I got some more subscribers too. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And so I did make, also, I know y'all want to hear about this blanket. So I've made some progress on this too. I'm down to the last 2 rows of black. So this is where we are. Is that the, no, that's the wrong side. But this is where we are. So I just have to do the last 2 rows of black, and then this will be done. And I need to measure it, because I'm thinking if it's in the right measurements, it might end up being a Boggy Creek blanket. Since Roxy so graciously sent me that beautiful blanket that I opened Saturday. And y'all, you know, I did the Happy Meal video from Roxy on Saturday. Sorry, just sticking that yarn out of my footpath. But so I don't know, this may go, you know, if it I know it has to be 40 by 50, I think. This may be too big. But if it's not too big, if I do 2 more rounds in the black and it's not too big for the Boggy Creek kids, then I'll probably just wash it up and put it up and until they start accepting donations again for the Boggy Creek kids, and then send it for the Boggy Creek kids, and then that'll be at least 1 donation from me this year. I have another blanket I started last year that I had every intention of finishing and sending to them, but this thing's got in the way. And so you know, I'm gonna grab that back up and finish working that one. It won't take that long because it's just a simple ripple. You know, just a ripple. But yeah, so I pull that out and get that done between now and then, and include it as well. Because when I started that one, I planned on the dimensions being the proper length and everything. So, and it's done with Premier Bloom Chunky yarn. So squishy, so squishy and soft. And so yeah. But this one is this turned out real pretty. I think it's really beautiful. It's not that I don't like this blanket. It's just the purpose for it has already been filled. So I mean, I could just have two blankets and swap them out like Crystal does her little chair, her blankets for her, you know, background. You know, I could do that. But I'm also planning on making more than, I mean, I'm not just going to make 1 blanket on this loom. Now that I'm kind of in the zone with it, you know, that ally stitch is very meditative, and I could just put the music on and just, you know, just go, go, go. And I don't think it's going to take me very long to do that. Things don't generally take me that long to make, especially when I get healthy again. So, I'm you know, I'm a somewhat fast crocheter. I mean, because when I was making the sweaters, I could crochet the sweaters in like a week, depending on how much other stuff I had going on. And I probably will get back to making and selling sweaters again. I probably will do that. And I think the loom is going to come into play with some of that, because I'm going to experiment with that. I need to, but the yarn has to be at least a 5-weight yarn. Now the basic chunky is a 5-weight yarn. So I'll have to, you know, just play with that. I do have some scarfy yarn that I bought on clearance a couple of months ago, something like that. I bought some in gray and I bought some in turquoise. So I will be experimenting with that and a sweater. So I will be doing some measurements on this little blanket here when I make it, so that I can have some idea as to how many pegs I should cast on for the sweater. And, you know, that'll help me decide, you know, how many pegs I should cast on, you know, for each panel and so forth. And if I can, when I'll just have to come up with a recipe, basically. You know, I just had to come up with, because I know there are loom knitting tutorials out there for sweaters and stuff like that, but I don't know if there are any out there strictly for big looms like this. Because I know that I could probably, because that's 60 inches around, that loom right there, I could probably, I'm going to see how that blanket fits around me, and that will be my guide as to, you know, how to do the panels. Because what I could do is, depending on how that goes around me, because of course the prototype is going to be me, so what I might do is, depending on how that blanket fits around me, go so many pegs over and then cast off at a certain part, so many inches to almost make it a raglan style type situation, to where you cast off you know, to give yourself a space, and then you're working yourself a gap between the panels. So you have like 2 or 3 pegs between the panels, but you're still working the panels simultaneously, you know, together, but you got a couple of gaps. You got a gap there to where you know, when you cast off, you just seam up the panels. I hope I'm making sense. But there's a way to do that where you can cast off a couple of pegs in between, and then that'll leave you a little seam, you know, leave you a little gap between the main panel and a smaller panel, and that way you can make make sleeves next to the main back panel, or, you know, something like that. You know, it's just, there's a way to do things. There's a way to make it happen. It's just figuring that out. I just have to experiment with things. So, that's just one of those things I have to just, you know, work at and experiment with it and see if I can make it happen. So, but, I do want to make my own loom knitted sweater. And, you know, then of course present that to y'all and say, hey, look what I managed to do. Of course, I you know, train wreck or not, I'm going to show it to you. Train wreck or not, y'all will get to see it. Because I'm one of those very transparent type people, you know, warts and all, here I am. It was a train wreck. I took it right off the loom and frogged it and redid it. Because that wonky basket weave start to that blanket was not going to happen on my watch. And the edges were like wonky, wonky, wonky. And I was like, nope. That was one of those pain pill fueled ideas that just did not work out. Next time I get one of those ideas that are fueled by pain pill frogs, I'm going to let it pass. I'm not acting on it. I'm going to let it pass. No, we're not doing that. But it's one of those nagging little things that says, sure, you can do that. Sure that you can do that, that blanket inspired by Shannon's blanket. No, Amanda. No, you cannot. I probably could if I found a tutorial for basket weave, stitch on a loom. I probably could find a tutorial for that. But did I go that route? No, I did not. Am I going to go do that now? No, I'm not. It's done and dusted. It's done and dusted. I don't care anymore. I'm not in that frame of mind anymore. I'm done. I'm going to do this stitch because it's pretty. And I'm already in there. And I'm going to do a color change later. But tonight, I have to take my nightly medication and get ready for bed because I have to be at the pre-op place at like 7:30 in the morning. And if y'all, well, you newbies will get to know me, but I'm a night owl. My normal bedtime is 3 a.m. So having to be anywhere at 7:30 in the morning is a shock to my system. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. there will be copious amounts of coffee being drank in the morning just to get me going. I do have diet pills. I could take one of those. And I might have to do that. Of course, I won't sleep for 2 days if I do, but who needs sleep? I'll sleep when I'm dead. If I take a half of one, I'll be okay. Yeah. I may have to do that just to get through in the morning. Yeah. I'll eat like a small bowl of Cheerios and take one of those, half of one of those, and I'll be fine. Yeah. Because when I was preparing for my weight loss surgery that I had in November 1st, I had gastric bypass and hernia repair. And I've lost 100 pounds since then. Or just about 100 pounds. Well, my 100 pounds weight loss has been since late last July. So, because I'm now at 391. No, 291. Sorry. Lord have mercy. When I started with the weight loss doctor, I was at 393. Now I'm at 291. Excuse me. 291. So, yeah. I almost put too much weight back on myself, didn't I? But yeah, I'm 291. So, yeah, my clothes are falling off of me. I have bought some new clothes, but not anything terribly. I hadn't spent a whole lot of money on bought clearance stuff. So, because you know, when you're constantly dropping weight, you don't want to buy expensive stuff because before you know it, you're gonna have to buy some more stuff. So I'm just buying cheap Walmart stuff just to get me through so that I can, you know, have clothes that don't fall off of me when I walk up my bestie stairs and have to borrow yarn to make a belt. Let me tell you, she doesn't let me forget that either. She brings it up all the time. Oh, let me tell you about the time she had to make a belt out of yarn because her pants almost fell off of her while she was coming up the steps of my house. Oh, whoop-de-woo. Eva, come on with that business. Let it go. Let it go. Now she wants those breeches to make me a bag. Yeah. So I guess I'll be giving those to her so that she can make me a project bag out of it. That's fine. They're in a donation bag in the living room anyway. They were going to Goodwill. I guess they're going to her now. Oh, well. I'll get a project bag out of it. Made by my bestie. One of them anyway. I have 3. But I digress. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. That's about all I got for y'all for now. I'm going to upload this and go swap out the laundry and get ready for bed. Hopefully I can sleep. Hopefully. I don't really look to get much sleep. But I love y'all so much, and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend's waiting on you at the shelter or the rescue. Mine is over there scratching his head on my bed. See y'all next time. Bye.